Hey everybody, Dr. Brett Scher, low carb cardiologist. Today I want to talk to you about sugar. Now, and also the newspaper. I did another newspaper live a couple days ago where my audio was terrible. Sorry about that. Hopefully the mic's working better today. But usually I try to avoid the newspaper because it can be just depressing news. But sometimes there's some really interesting stuff in there, especially health related. But a lot of it is business, right? It's the business of health. It's the businesses trying to profit on us. And last time I talked about the drug companies and how health is not their goal. Well, today was interesting in the Wall Street Journal. In Vermont, the maple syrup and outrage are pure. The FDA's added sugar label may suggest 100% natural sweeteners are adulterated. So this was a really interesting article. And the fight and the concern by the people who make pure maple syrup is real. I mean, if you make pure maple syrup and you're listed as an added sugar, I can see why that would make them upset because there's really no added sugar. So there's this whole outrage about the way the FDA is labeling sugar, added sugar, and how it affects pure maple syrup. But here's the bigger question underlying all this that has nothing to do with the business part of it. The biggest question is, does it even matter, right? Of course, high fructose corn syrup, added sugar is something we want to avoid. But what makes natural sugars like maple syrup, like 100% real fruit juices, what makes those suddenly good for us? And here's where there's a clear line between sort of the paleo community and the low carb community. Because maple syrup, fruit, natural sugars and sweeteners, you could say are legal or allowed in the paleo community. But what do those sugars do? They raise your glucose. They raise your insulin. If you're trying to prevent metabolic syndrome, diabetes, or more importantly, if you're trying to treat metabolic syndrome, diabetes, insulin resistance, whether the sugar is natural or not, 100% natural, straight from the tree syrup, doesn't matter. It's still going to react poorly in your body if you are not completely insulin sensitive. And the majority of us in this country do need to worry about insulin sensitivity, do need to worry about our glucose and insulin spikes to what we're eating. So pure maple syrup, whether it's 100% sure or not, whether the FDA says it's got added sugars or not, for the majority of the people in this country, doesn't matter. We still need to avoid the natural sweeteners, the 100% sweeteners. They should be a rare treat and not something that we think is good for us because it's natural. So hopefully that helps kind of figure out the difference between healthy, natural, added sugars. It's really still one big mask of too much sugar that our body needs and our body can't handle. All right, so remember, 100% natural, still limited, still a treat. All right, Dr. Brett Scher, lowcarbcardiologist.com. Have a great, happy, and healthy day.